Good morning. So this is Mandate Reporter in Plano, Texas. I'm a targeted individual. So I thought I'd get on here this morning and talk a little bit more about my targeting and my story with my children. Okay, so if you paid attention to my videos, you would know that I had an ex that I believed worked for the government and CPS. I think he sold my children sold us as a family into CPS services, right? So that's why my targeting has been so hard, and they sent killer after killer after killer after me, because their mission was to set up a scene, get my kids taken by CPS, and then once they have the kids taken by CPS, they brainwash your children against you. Now, some parents get their kids back, some parents don't. But when the kids come, if you're one of those parents that get your kids back, 9 times out of 10, those kids are not the same. Because it was trauma. First, it's trauma-based. Whenever you take or snatch a child, no matter how the child is living, you snatch a child from their parent, that's trauma. Then, after that, you brainwash the child to go against their parent. So now the kids come back. You're not the same because they have programmed you by all the targeting. So it's nothing but programming. So they program you by all the targeting. They program your kids to come against you. So not only are you trying to fight against the programming, now you have children that are around you that are gaslighting you, targeting you, gaslighting you, right? Because they want your children to work for their demonic system. The guy that put us into the CPS system, Harold Smith, molested and raped my little innocent children. But the cold thing about it was, they said they didn't have enough evidence against him, but they prosecuted me through the law to get my children back. They brought no prosecution against him. He's a free man. He's a free man because they're protecting a pedophile, because they're all pedophiles. CPS system, police officers, lawyers, judges, doctors, dentists, they all get paid for being predators. And they're all being protected from the state. I went from Stockton, California to Reno, Nevada, to Sacramento, California, to Plano, Texas. Wherever I go, these people are nationwide. And they have your kids going up against you. So now you're in a battle with your kids. The kids don't want to do nothing. They don't want to listen to you. You can't beat your kids nowadays. We're not trying to beat them, but you can't whip their ass because they've been in the CPS system. The CPS system tell them, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. So that's going against God right there. Everything they do is to go against God. Say in the Bible to whip your child and to spare the child if you discipline him and whoop him. But as soon as they get you entangled in CPS, they got you signing all kind of papers stating you won't discipline your child, you won't whoop your damn child. So now the child is there, they're already brainwashed, they talking back to you, basically running the house, doing what they want to do, and you just there for the damn ride. That's basically what it is. And then they brainwash to hate you. So it's like you're being targeted, and if you're a target like me, you see how cars messed up, cars get towed, cars break down. All your money is going to go get your car fixed, light bills, this, that. You can't work a job because they're targeting you at a job site. So it's already hard. You're already already struggling. The system is so messed up that they'll pay an outsider $5,000 to $10,000 a month to care for your children. But when they give you the children back, they don't give you shit to care for your children. Because they don't want to see you prosper with your children, financially or any other kind of way. So it's all a messed up system. Then the kids are what? They're training them to be what? Gang stalkers. Right? So now as you being a parent, all of you guys are traumatized, brainwashed. So now you have to go to God, pray to God, ask God this, that, ask God to reverse things. Then on top of that, you got to get deliverance for not only you, but for your children. But the children can't get deliverance if they don't want to give up whatever they have. They can't. In order for anyone to get delivered, they have to want to break covenant and ties with whatever is in them. You know? So just trying to get them delivered is like everything is just like a stack, a brick up against me. You know? And it's a lot. It's been a lot. Just frustrated, you know? Here I am cussing out teenagers, back and forth with teenagers, because, you know, it's not like I'm raising regular teenagers. These teenagers they were kids, they were molested by a no good man that works for the Satanic Army that happens to run the world. So I feel them on that. They hurt, they're shattered. I tried hard to fight for them. I got them back. I tried to get charges pressed against him. That's when I knew something wasn't right, when a doctor came out and said most likely they have been touched. They can't say to what extent, but most likely they have been touched. But if they have been touched and now you guys are saying that, but you don't have enough evidence to prosecute him, we'll go through the CPS system. They took the kids because of fighting. Because the guy fought me, called CPS and said I tried to kill myself. He ended up going to jail, right? Because he tried to kill me. But he ended up going to jail. The charges, they dropped the charges against him. Everything was dropped against him. CPS only pursued me. So it's like, why don't CPS pursue the other parent to the extent they pursue the mother in most situations? I'm guilty for being around someone like that. I'm guilty for staying around someone that was evil like that. When I got my kids back, and CPS were the main people, oh, we're going to support you. We got a support system there for place with you, for you and your children. We want to see you guys succeed. And they's the same people. CPS, law enforcement, judges, random people work for the system, gang stalking and harassing me, making it hard for me. They were sending exes back into my life to poison me and to kill me. Now I've been injured and the medical system won't help me. Who am I going to tell this to? I told it to God. Who else can I go tell this to? They have us living in a Section 8 home. You know, they help you get stuff when you're when you're working with the CPS system. I'm thinking Section 8 is going to be good for. That's a hindrance. That's still something up under the government. I'm thinking Section 8 was going to be great option. They got us in a raggedy, torn down, toxic house. You know, I've been calling Section 8, taking pictures, sending them in, trying to get a hold of people. No one's been calling me back. Ignoring the messages, the emails I've been sending out. Who am I going to tell this stuff to? Who is going to listen to me? Who's going to take me serious? Who's going to help me in the flesh? Who's going to do it? And praying to God. God been seeing what we've been going through. Who's going to help us get out of this situation? These people come and destroy, and they just seem like they just get away with so much. They do so much damage, and there's so many of them. I'm here, I am going to hospitals. Another man, the fake X, the counterfeit X that was a whole demon wizard, he poisoned me, tried to kill me. I felt like I had a stroke, heart attack, stroke, whatever it was. It could have been both. I go to the emergency room, they telling me it's a concussion. But that's been 2 years ago. I feel like my body was poisoned. I know what happened to me, and I know what was done to me. I go tell them, look, something is wrong with my heart. Something is wrong with this. Something is wrong with that. Oh, no, we don't. They have a Baylor. Out here in Plano, Texas, they have Baylor, like, heart place. It's a whole heart center. I went there. They told me nothing was wrong with my heart. But see, what ended up me having to go there was because I kept having this chest pain. And I went to like an urgent care. When I went inside the urgent care, the lady did an EKG. She said, you definitely look like you suffered some type of heart attack because I can see it on the printout. And you're having chest pain, you need to go to the Baylor Heart Place. She said I would call emergency for you, 911, but it seems like you're not actively having one. And they kind of turned their nose up at that. So this lady, even though she told me something was wrong with me, she didn't want to call 911 because the ambulance turned their nose up because they don't feel like that's an emergency. So I had to drive myself to Baylor Heart Hospital. Got to Baylor Hospital, Heart Hospital, went in there, took the paper that the lady gave me. They said, oh no. They did a screening. Oh no. I knew they was gang stalkers. As soon as the old racist white man walked in the room, I knew who he was, he knew who I was. I never met him a day in my life. Go in there. He's like, oh no, your heart is fine. Sometimes the machine's messed up. Oh, the machine is messed up. Something. Their machines are not right. So you're at the right place. He does a printout. I get home, the printout ain't even me. The piece of paper printout he gave me ain't even me. Don't have my name nor on the paper, nothing. This stuff they doing is horrible. It's like a cold setup. I know I had some kind of brain injury. They tell me it's a concussion. Oh, well, sometimes concussions can last, a long time because this and that. Okay. But I know the feeling I got when it happened. It's like your body is made of electricity. There was an electrical currency that happened in my body. From my head all the way down to my feet, I could feel like if someone got struck by lightning. And I'm just saying it felt like this. I never know what being struck by lightning actually feels like. But if I can explain if I were to explain like struck by lightning, what it felt like, I felt like I was struck by lightning. It's something that's just a currency to go through all my body. Here go the police stalking again. After I dropped my daughter off, I walked 2 miles to walk her to school. As soon as I get there, it's the police. Now I walk back, it's the police. And it's the same stuff, day in, day out, day in, day out. They do it, they're cocky, they don't have so the whole stuff, they act like they're protecting, what is it called, like trafficking. They act like they protecting trafficking, and they really involved in trafficking and all this stuff. They're the main cause of trafficking. They're the main ringleaders. The government, CPS, police, judges, lawyers, doctors, dentists. Now I'm walking, and I find this book. traffic passes by, I'm gonna pick the book up. Walking out of the blue is a book. Okay. I'll have to read more about the book when I get home, but this stuff is a mess. This is a mess. This is a cold mess, boy. They got this so tied up. So the doctors basically, they decide who they want to help. All of them decide who they want to help. But God is in control of all of it. So, that kind of is what it is, I'm complaining about a lot. I'm hurt. Not understanding a lot of why to a lot of things. But, I ultimately know that God's in charge. It's just like, how much do these people get away with? This is horrible. So I'm just stuck in a condemned home, basically. And I've been reaching out to housing for almost a year, almost 2 years since I've been in the home. It's been a long time, but it's more and more stuff in the home that's just being discovered. So me and my kids' systems, I'm gonna put on my community post the gruesome pictures of the water system in the home and what color the water is. That means that we've been drinking that water and bathing in it for a long time. Poison. I'm a target, so of course, Section 8, whatever house is, as soon as I get online to look up, when I first moved out here to get online to find a house, don't you think mysteriously they work so much that as soon as you go on a site, they even recommend the site for you. So I'm telling the lady, the social worker lady, or whatever she's called at the Section 8 place, housing authority lady, whatever she called, I'm telling her, look, we're coming from a different state. We don't know much about Texas. How do we do how do we find places for rent? Do you have a list or someone we can contact? And she gave us, what did she give us? She gave me a list. She said, contact affordable housing. I get on affordable housing. They already know who you are when you're on there. When you contact, managers for places, they already know who you are. So, oh yeah, well, you can move in. You can send your voucher, blah, blah, blah. It was that simple. Then I actually get in the house. Oh, we're closed down because of COVID, so I can't show you the inside. But if you go online, you can see what the house looks like. And then when you get at the house, we'll give you the code to the key. Just send your voucher on over. No, they're all in cahoots. They're all in cahoots because there's no way that a housing authority would rent out a home like that to nobody. There's no way. This is so thick of criminals. I mean, real hardcore, heartless criminals. They heartless, baby. I say they heartless, they heartless. So it's like, if God do get these people, or whichever people go down from this stuff and he get them, they don't care. You think they care? They don't care. That's what they've been doing this. They don't care. They don't care if they lose anybody. They don't care. They're of evil. So if you're a person that is of evil, and something, and God passed judgment on you, you think they care about what they do to people? They don't care. They don't care. And I can sit away like, oh, I want people to get their karma, but waiting for what? I'm waiting on something to happen to them while I'm going through a lot. I don't even care if something happened to them or not at this point. It don't seem like nothing ever happens to them. Seems like they just keep on doing the horrible shit they do. It seems like the only people that suffer is the damn targets. That's the only people that are suffering. They're not suffering. They ain't got to worry about how they living, how they gonna pay the bill, clothes and food. They're not worrying about none of that. They're not worried about that. They're not worried about the shit we worried about. We got trauma and being targeted and trauma and got to worry about everyday shit. They don't care. They still do the same shit, just as arrogant as they is. Just banding together. It's like they've been doing this shit for so many years, centuries. They don't give a fuck. Yes, and I cuss a lot. Yes, I'll be doing a video later on about things I need to be delivered from. You go through enough trauma. It's easy to get caught up. You go through enough heartache and trauma and pain. It's easy for that anger to sip in. It's easy for a lot of things to come on in. But the difference between us is them and them is that I want that to get away from me. I want to be delivered from that. I don't want to carry hate around. I don't. I want to be angry all the time. I want to be having to cuss every day long, cuss people out, cuss my kids out, cuss that person out. They looking at me too hard, cussing them out. But this stuff is this stuff hurts. This stuff is painful. This is some cold stuff. And every time you see these ignorant ass people, every time you see these bastards, they so cocky. They always got a fucking smile on their face or a blank ass look. I don't know which ones is the worst. The ones that have the bad attitudes towards you, that looking at you like you did them wrong, or the ones that act like they don't notice you, but you know they're stalking you, or the ones that just don't blatantly just laugh in your fucking face like you a joke. I don't know which one is the worst. At this point, I'm tired of worrying about which one of them is the worst. But what the gang stalking is basically is that it's cults. It's so many groups of people, organizations, cults, so many groups of people coming against you that we get caught up in what they're doing to us, that we lose focus of God's mission for our lives. That's how we get off a track. That's how we get more traumatized. We gotta stay focused on what we're there to do. That's why they're the elite. They're the elite for a reason. They stick to the script. They stick to the task at hand. They stick to their job at hand. We are emotional. We get on and off a track what it is that we're supposed to do. And why we get on and off a track, we backslide, we sin, we do a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Why they still gaining ground? You know how they still gain ground? Because they don't lose sight. They stay on the task at hand. They stay focused. You know, just by era, we are emotional. Our emotions do not work well for us going through through something like this. You have to be, in order to really make this and survive this, you have to be less emotional. You gotta be less emotional, and it's kind of hard when you study going through trauma. When you being conditioned for this, being conditioned for that, and then, you know, you got not only people you don't know in the world triggering you at every point, the people that are around you triggering you. Shoot, you trigger your own self. You know, it's a lot. Just like keep making videos of gang stalkers and all this stuff, and I mean, it's okay to put recognition on it, but really our focus is supposed to be on God and the task at hand. We're supposed to be praying for healing, guidance, and understanding, and we're supposed to be thankful instead of complaining. So, you know, just gotta reshift things, you know. I never, before going through this, never cussed, you know, would cuss my kids out. But now I cuss them, I catch myself cussing them out. And I have to think, like, are they just intentionally messing with me? Or is it that they've been traumatized themselves and that's just what it is? You got a lot of trauma people around each other, triggering each other. And throw on being gang stalked, harassed, and poisoned. Throw that on top of that, too. Let's throw this on there. Let's throw that on there. And some more shit on there. While these motherfuckers sit back, watch you in your fucked up house that Section 8 gave you, that they already put cameras and shit in. Record all your conversations. Probably look at them, his gang stalking himself with the one headlight. I don't know if you can see it good, but and the crazy thing about it is that out here in Texas, what I noticed about their lights, their gang stalking their lights, they got a lot of neon lights. Where in California and in Reno, I didn't get a lot of neon lights. I got more one headlights. Out here, they have more neon lights and some one headlight, but it's mostly like they do a lot of light flickering. Playing with their lights. Here go one headlight if you can see it. There we go. The one headlight, bright lights, you know. They got a lot of fluorescent lights, I'll say, out here with the gang stalking. They got a whole little light show out here. Look at those babies. Yeah, them boys booming. But I think of my life is like a joke, like a horrible fucking joke, like just a joke. You know, it's just a joke. And then, you know, I want to say this to the women that are gang stalked out there. This whole gang stalking thing is lonely, to say the least. But we can't just talk to anybody. We can't just associate ourselves with these men that have channels on YouTube, and because half of them is predators. More than half of them are predators. They know that we are in a bad situation, that some of us don't have much money, that some of us are going through certain things, so they take advantage of that, and you know, they're predators. So I'd like to say that to the women in the world that are gang stalked. Pay attention. Be aware. And whether you believe a man is a gang stalker or not, if the person does not, whether it's a female, whether it's me, whoever it is, If they do not gel right with your conversation or anything, if they have, keep on red flag after red flag after red flag, disassociate yourself with that person. Like, don't do it. Like, if it's something you don't do in life and they do that, that's not a person you want to talk to. If you don't drink alcohol and every time you talk to that person, all they're talking about is drinking alcohol, that's not a person you should be associating yourself with. If it's a man that study talking about sleeping with all kind of women, or he mess with all kind of white women, or whatever the situation may be, that's something you don't want in your life, or something you don't want to deal with it. Don't feel guilty. Don't deal with it. There's a guy you think he's a creep, don't deal with him. Y'all have conversations, or you feel like he might be a gang stalker, don't deal with him. If it's a female that seems like don't deal with her. That's simple. That's it. People get so caught up in if somebody is a gang stalker or a TI, or they a fake TI. I don't care what no one says. I don't care if no one thinks I'm a real TI, a fake TI. I don't care. I'm going to tell you why I don't care. I don't care because God knows everything. God knows my whole life. God knows what happened. God knows what I went through. God knows what I didn't go through. God knows what I put myself through. And God knows what others put me through. So, therefore, I don't really care what their qualifications of if someone is a gang stalker or not. Simple. If someone gels right with your energy, then you talk to that person. If someone does not gel right, and you can learn if someone gel right with you, like the first, maybe the second conversation for sure. But if you good with it, the first conversation, depending on how long y'all talk. I don't want to, associate with a man that is already sending me 100 damn pictures and, telling me about what they like to do with women in the bedroom. Or how they want to meet up with me and do certain things. Like, that's not the man that no. So that lets me know that you're on here using this as a dating site to screw women. I don't want that. And I don't want to sit up and be a friend to somebody that's heartbreaking over someone else, and that's the full conversation all the time. Like, there's never a decent conversation. There's never a middle ground. Like, shit, I got problems and struggles too. A relationship, whether it's a friendship or someone that you want to go further with than just friends, that relationship has to work both ways. It's just not a one-way thing. And if you notice every time you talk to someone on the phone and it's all about them and what they're going through or how they see things, and they never allow you to talk or share what you're going through, and if they can't give you advice like you give them, then that ain't the person for you to be friends with. Simple. It's that simple. That's how simple that is. I think we bring a lot of stuff upon ourselves. Sometimes we be so lonely, and we bring stuff upon ourselves because we don't want to be alone in this process. It is good to have a friend or someone you could talk to, but that person would have to be someone that's not just draining you. It had to be a mutual thing, 50-50. Me going forward in my life, if you can't give 50-50, whether it's a friend, associate, a romantic partner, if we can't see things eye to eye, 50-50, there's no need for us to conversate on nothing. So just be aware of that and stop allowing people to put you in a box and call you a gang stalker or question your walk in life. I've been through so much stuff at this point. I don't care what people think. I don't care what they say. I don't care who they think I am. I don't care. Why I don't care? Because God knows my entire truth. So why care anymore? What I do care about is how messed up this program is and the injustice in this program. I care about that. That's what I care about. I care about the hundreds of thousands of people that came against me, one person, Betty Latanya Wise. I care about that. I care about how poorly they treated me and messed up my walk with my kids. I care about that. That's what I do care about. I care about the heartache and pain that others going through. I care about that. I care about the other women that have been tricked by CPS, social services, the government, men they sent into their lives to trick them out of their children or to hurt them and their children. I care about that. I care about that. No, I'm not perfect. At times I am a piece of shit. I fall short in a lot of areas, but I genuinely care about certain things. This gang stalking is horrible. And I'm glad that more people are starting to come forward, even if more than half of them are government officials. More than over half of them are faking the funk as being, a target. But it's coming out to the forefront. Either way, it's coming out. The truth is coming out. And the truth shall set a lot of people free. It's going to set a lot of people free. When they find out what is really going on, a lot of people know about it and a lot of people don't. A lot of people are being gang stalked, but they don't know they're being gang stalked. They can't see it yet. I guess they cannot see it because they could be ignorant to it, or they can't see it because God hasn't allowed them to see it. Either way, I know there is a God, a creator of heaven and earth and everything in it. And I know that God is going to set some things straight. Set some things straight, some people straight. It's going to come out. 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 Whatever they're hiding is going to come out. It has to come out. The truth has to come out. The truth has to come out because it is the truth. And by spiritual law, it has to come out. They're not going to be able to hide their faces no more. Some of them ain't hiding. But some of them that their reputations are going to get exposed. A lot of them. A lot of them that have high rank in certain places is going to get exposed. The world is going to be able to see them truly for who they are. The horrific shit they're involved in. The mindset, it's just like sad because it's hard for me to really understand the mindset of these people. But when I seen what I seen, they're not people. So they don't have a proper mindset. They don't. They're not even human. Half of them are just familiar spirits. Just in a human body. Just in a human body, familiar spirits. That's what they are. A human body and a familiar spirit. That's all it is. Demons. It's like demons have taken over the world. That's basically what we're in right now. They have these meetings. They have rituals. All these people in charge. What are they in charge of? Little kids. That shooting that happened a while back in Texas, where they sat there and let that gunman finish shooting and killing those third and fourth graders. You don't think those demonic cops were a part of that? They allowed that man, one armed man at a school, and you have several people calling that's inside of the school, telling the location of where the shooter is. And I mean, no one runs in there and gets the shooter. They let him finish doing harm and havoc. You know, I can't sit here and say like, oh, my hands are so clean of things that I've done in my life. No. All of us is gonna pay. Everybody gonna pay. Everybody gonna pay. They gonna pay for this shit. They gonna pay. They gonna pay for this shit. I don't know what their punishment is, because I'm not God. The same people that said they would help me and my kids were the same group of people, government officials, that caused all this gang stalking in my life. That caused the harassment, the anxiety, the harassment, the poisoning, the depression, the hurt, the pain. The judges that was in on this stuff, the lawyers that were involved in this, the everyday average citizen that got involved in this to come against me. The family members, the exes. I pray God spare, my family members and my children. I pray He forgive me for the things I've done. But this was some cold stuff. This was horrible. This was so horrible. And and whether I can say they brainwashed my kids or not, my kids are probably the one that's the most hurt in this whole situation against me and my kids. Because they didn't ask to be born here. They didn't ask to go through this. But this has been a lot. It's been a lot. It's been a lot because you got to think like, well, my situation, I can't really talk for anyone else's targeting, but mine has been so extreme. I mean, the most extreme a person can think of. And kind of really messed me up because I used to always wonder, like some older people or just some people in general that could be real mean and angry and just ugh. And I used to always be like, how can a person be like that? Like, what happened? You know? And people used to always say, life happened, life happened. But I didn't really never knew what they meant. Now I understand what they mean. Life happened. You angry. You walking around with this anger and hurt just build up in you. Because these people made a joke out of my life. These people made a fool out of me. These people made a joke out of my life. And they covered. They made a joke out of my life. Put me on blast for all kind of stuff. But they're all in cahoots covering up the shit that they do as a whole. How does that happen? My life ain't gonna go down like it just didn't mean nothing. No. 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 Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, no. No, 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 no. And I feel so dumb. Like, I trusted these people. I trusted my family. I trusted the CPS system. Like, I really trusted these people. Like, you know what? I shouldn't have been with him. You know, this and this and that. I probably wasn't living. Like, really, taking all of it in. But then, y'all, they wanted to go and play God in my life. And these motherfuckers is doing the weirdest stuff. They doing the most. The school officials, all these people are in cahoots together. These people that lost their mind. They got a whole system in play on the low. But now I see all the players. All these people's in linked together. They're the people that do messed up stuff in the world. How are these people living their best life getting away with this? I don't get it. I know it says in the Bible this, that, but when you really walk and live in this stuff for what it is, it's hard to take in. It's like this got to be a joke. It's a joke. I don't even think I was mentally ready to see the shapeshifter or whatever dude was. Robert Griffin, the ex-boyfriend that was really a demon. And I also know when they take like your energy, or I guess that'd be called life force or whatever he stole or took, I start getting family members I haven't talked to for a long time would like reach out to me, and then they would send me like really old pictures of myself. Like, I have a lot of people sending me pictures of myself, like things I did years ago. They start sending me these pictures, and I'm like, why are these family members, distant family members, sending me all of these pictures? It is to remind me of who I am. It is to remind me of who I am. And that's the spiritual thing. I believe it's to remind a person of who they are. Yeah. You know, but going through this situation, you can't really prosper in the spiritual realm if you're holding on to hate, anger, frustration, anxiety, depression, stagnation, racism, cussing, you know. So I have to go get cleansed of these things, you know, really cleanse myself of these things and cleanse my energy so I can get back on track. I never thought in a million years that I would go through this. And I never thought in a million years that I had to deal with this type of anger. Because before going through all this stuff, I was never really an angry person. Like, I could get, like, someone could do something or get me upset or things might not go my way. And I'd probably be mad for a little bit, but then, like, I'd get right over it. Like, okay, oh well. Or if I had a problem with a person, I might not talk to them for a couple days, but I'd be right back cool with them. Now, if I get into it with somebody, I'll cut you off and won't think nothing of it. Like, okay, you know. And I get we are supposed to cut off certain people. I get that. You know, look where I'm at in Texas. All these flags. You know, I don't know what made me come out to Texas, but I don't think I should have came to Texas. It's like conservative. Everywhere you go, there's a flag hanging. So they believe in the United States of America as one nation. I'm just venting. You know, I had some real monsters in my life. You know, the monsters I had in my life was Harold Smith and Robert Griffin. Real monsters, real demonic entities, real monsters in the flesh. It's like literally blows my mind back. Let me see. Yeah, okay. I just had to vent, you know, and some people's like, you know, you feel like you're danged if you talk about this stuff. You're danged if you don't talk about this stuff. But I feel like, you know, it is what it is. They don't care. They don't care what they're doing to you. They don't care. So you might as well say what it is. And God, I mean, God is in control. When everything's said and done, it is what it is. You know? But honestly, since my vehicle has been gone, I've actually have enjoyed myself getting out walking, feel a little bit better instead of just sitting in the house, like just with my thoughts and just cooped up. Like, I can't believe this is my life. Like, I can't believe this is my life. I can't believe I'm going through this. I can't believe me and my kids are living like this. I can't, you know, this is not nothing I would want to wish for me and my kids. And then it's like, you know, I love my kids. And it's probably, you know, they probably can't express themselves as good as they want to. Because I've been hurt, you know, they've been hurt the most. I've been hurt trying to figure all this crazy stuff out. And, you know, they were touched and fondled with. They probably can't express certain things to me. And I'm yelling and screaming because I'm like, look, why aren't you doing this? Why are you doing that? You know, it's a lot. This is some cold stuff. This is some cold stuff. The same people said they were there to help are the same people that orchestrated this stuff against me. It's like, okay, get yourself out of a paper bag, basically, right? Figure your way out of this paper bag that we've placed you in. And I just wonder, you know, I ask God sometimes, like, why? 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 Why did you create these evil people? Why didn't you take them out of humanity? Like, why are these evil people amongst humanity? Why? And they're not even people. They're demons. Why are they here? It's like if you look at it, it's like they got so much control. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of painful because I never would have hurt them like this. Like, I never would have did any of my exes like this. I would have never did none of their children like this. I would have never did none of my family members like this. Just wouldn't. And right now, it doesn't even matter, right? It doesn't matter because what is done is done. So what I say, how I say, oh, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that, it don't matter. They did it. It's done. They did it. They got away with it. Left me for dead. Left me for dead, and now I'm in a abandoned home with 3 kids with nothing. But, you know, and I just keep saying with nothing, but, you know, if you do right in life, I guess, somewhere along the way I messed up. Because if I wouldn't have messed up, that means God would have came in after that happened and restored me, right? So I can blame a million people, a million demons I can blame. I blame myself a lot too. I have to. I ask for forgiveness, and I'm praying and hoping that when you ask for forgiveness and forgiveness is granted, that there's some kind of change in your life. You know, not, you know, I hope it's a good change that'll come, not because of me, because of God and who He is, because He's good. He's good. Jesus is good. You know, I don't know. I don't know. But I used to take life for granted and think life was, I don't know if I thought it was a joke necessarily. I just took a lot of things for granted, you know? And I tried to make peace with everybody and be friends with everybody, and, you know? And life is so much more serious than that. Yeah. Yep, so I'm going to get off of here. I've talked my butt off for a long time. I vented. No, I just want to say, like, it's like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. That's because I have to really take an assessment of my life. And it's like, it's 2023. Here it is. I'm 46 years old, single, 46 years old, with 3 teen kids and nothing, with absolutely nothing. Had to quit working a job because of all the gang stalking attacks. Now I had to quit working because I was almost killed and my body's not right. You know, thank God, you know, my kids are working, doing what they could do part-time because they go to school. You know, now my car is gone. You know, it's like, dang. um, but you know, I'm happy. You know, I don't sound happy, but you know, there's some things I'm thankful for. You know, I didn't know how much happiness means in someone's life, just to be happy, just to have joy in your life. It's like, that's priceless, just to be happy in life, just to have joy in your life. You know? And I just want to say this to the well, anybody that I have ever met online as far as YouTube goes, and there was a guy. I met a couple females that I talked to occasionally. I don't think I never had any phone calls with the females that I talked to. I think we more or less just kind of text back and forth. But I have had verbal conversations with guys that I met on YouTube. And I just want to say to those guys that if I'm no longer talking to you, like, don't take it to heart. Like, it's just like, on my end, I just found that you weren't compatible for me. Whether it was just strictly friendship or whatever it is, you just weren't. It was, you know, I seen too many red flags to move forward in any type of conversation with you or anything else. Now, whether if I believe you're a gang stalker or not, you know, I don't have time to be caught up on if you're a gang stalker or not. Everything in the dark comes to the light. So I don't, you know, I'm not gonna get on making videos about, oh, this guy, you know who you are, you know what you are. Whatever that is, whatever that may be, whatever it is. I don't have time to figure out what this is and that is. And if your conversation, when I talk to you, if your conversation wasn't conducive to what it is that I need in my life at this present time, that's why I'm no longer talking to you. It's several different women on YouTube. It's several different people you can befriend. That's fine. Does not mean that I won't watch your videos. Doesn't mean I won't watch your videos. They come on my timeline, depending on what you're talking about. I might tune in and see what it is you're talking about. Other than that, don't take me too serious. Like, there's nothing. We just got different paths in life. We might go through some of the same things because we're, you know, that's just what it is in life. But, you know, it could be my trauma. It could be my conditioning. It could be a lot of different things. It could be the anger that I'm carrying. I don't know what it is. But when I find that certain friend that I feel comfortable with, then I'll have myself a friend. You know, when God says I can have a mate, I'll have a mate. If God says I never have a mate, then I just never will have a mate. There's a lot more other things going on in the world anyways. So, you know, that's where I'm at with that. No hard feelings. I think, you know, whether the two guys, and you know who you are, if you guys block me, that's cool. If I blocked you, it's cool. You can get online, you can say whatever you would like to say about me. I'm not gonna cry about it. At this point, I really don't care. So have fun with that. If you want to listen to my videos and make another video off of it, I mean, do you? Not pressed, not mad. Not about that anyways. Well, I've been it enough. I'm done. So have a great life.